I spent a lot of time trying to convince myself that I had the mindset of a true queen, that I was confident, that I was self-assured, that I was a boss, that I was independent. But behind closed doors, I was insecure. I was desperate for validation from men, seeking approval that I was pretty enough, that I was good enough and worthy of their love and attention. I had to stop yearning for male approval and start yearning for my own approval. And this meant that I had to have a mindset of a true queen. Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about how to think like a queen. You can't change the projection of your life if you haven't got your mind right. If your foundation is not strong, then the house is not going to withstand the test of time. And this is something that I had to learn the hard way. I spent a lot of time trying to convince myself that I had the mindset of a true queen, that I was confident, that I was self-assured, that I was a boss, that I was independent, and all the things. But if you shine a light on yourself in the dark, that is the real you. So behind the scenes, I was insecure. I was desperate for validation from men, seeking approval that I was pretty enough, that I was good enough and worthy of their love and attention, which meant that I would attract men who could smell my insecurity and need for validation a mile away. And as a result, I had to work and perform in order to receive their validation and approval. That meant that I was accepting and doing things that was beneath me, accepting and putting up with toxic masculinity behavior and traits. And that's because I didn't truly know myself. I didn't truly love myself. There was a disconnection between my inner being and who I thought I was, who I wanted to be. So this is when I learned and I realized that I had to stop yearning for male approval and start yearning for my own approval and create a healthy, sustainable relationship with myself first. Instead of just focusing on decorating the house and making it look pretty from the outside, I had to start over from the beginning. And this meant that I had to have a mindset of a true queen. And there were 5 steps, 5 things that I had to do in order for me to work on myself, in order for me to create this abundance mindset, in order for me to think like a queen. And that is what I'm going to share with you today. If you're new here, hello, my name is Lorraine and my channel is Lorraine Luxe, and I focus on all things self-improvement, affordable luxury, lifestyle, and also a dash of motherhood. If you love all that, I hope that you do. Subscribe to my channel and join the family. I want to first of all define what a queen is. A queen is not someone who is above or superior to everybody else. The value of a queen is not based on their wealth, luxury, their looks, or whether they even have a man or not. It's based on their mindset, their self-awareness, and their behavior. There needs to be an alignment between your thoughts, your feelings, and your behavior. The first step into having a mindset of a true queen is something that I like to call only child syndrome. And this is believing that you are number one, not having any inferior complex, not thinking that you are above anybody or better than anybody, but not thinking that you are below anybody, knowing that you are enough as you are. And to be honest with you, this is the hardest step, which is why it is the first step. It is easier to just say love yourself, stop comparing yourself to other people, put yourself first, but in reality that is such a hard thing to do, because what you're doing is you're unlearning years of bad behavior, you're unlearning years of self-hate, years of comparing yourself, and then you are learning a new habit. You are reprogramming your mind. This is not an overnight job. This is going to take time, especially for me as someone who always had body image issues. I was never happy with my body at any stage of my life. Even when I look back now and I think, oh my goodness, why was I unhappy, or why did I think I was fat or big back then when my body was actually all right? But if I take myself back to that place, I hated my body. So I spent a lot of time and energy trying to create the perfect body, and even if I reached a certain goal, that was never enough. And the root behind this is because my figure and my shape was a certain way, I was sexualized from such a young age, which made me think and believe that my value was on my exterior. That for me to be valuable, for men to find me valuable, my body and my exterior had to be a certain way. So that's why I never truly knew myself and never truly loved myself, because my focus was not on me as a person, it was on my exterior. This meant that everyone else around me, especially men, also focus on that. And even though I would get flattered by the attention, by the compliments, by the DMs, there was always a part of me that used to question, why is the focus always on my body? And that's because I led with my body, because there was no alignment between my thoughts, my feelings, and my behavior. Because I thought that my value was based on my exterior, this impacted my emotions, and this also impacted my behavior. But through a lot of reflection, through a lot of uncomfortable conversations with myself, through a lot of therapy, child, you know we love a bit of therapy over here, okay? I went on a self-discovery journey to actually get to know myself, to actually date myself, figure out who I was, and see myself as a person, as a holistic person, and not just for my body. When I actually discovered who I was and discovered that I was smart, that I was intelligent, that I was funny, that I was empathic, a good listener, I realized that my value was holistic. And having that thought and that mindset affected how I felt, and as a result also affected my behavior, how I carried myself, and how I was going through life. The second thing that you need to do in order to have a mindset of a true queen is security. Like Diddy said, get in your bag, stay in your bag. A lot of us as women, when we're thinking about the perfect man or the ideal man, we think of a man who is financially stable because we want that security. But instead of waiting for a knight in shining armor, for someone to come and rescue you, how about you become your own savior? How about you get in your own bag? How about you create your own security and become financially free for yourself? Because the most important thing that this does is make you understand the true value for money. When you truly understand financial knowledge, this also impacts your spending habits. You're not just spending for the now and short-term gratification just to get some kind of fix or immediate pleasure when you receive a parcel or when you buy something new, but you start understanding the concept of long-term gratification. This is when it becomes easier for you to save. This is when you actually start investing in your future, start creating multiple streams of income, not just relying on one paycheck, one source of income, okay? But you start thinking broader, you start thinking wider, creating opportunities for yourself. So not only are you attracting money, you also know how to make money. You also know how to multiply that money. And this is something that I spoke about in the video of how I healed from generational curses, where I had limiting beliefs that in order for me to be successful, I just had to have just this one job and that was going to solve all my problems. But that mindset was limiting me from all the possibilities and opportunities out there. I was holding myself back from utilizing my passion, my skills, and the knowledge that I had for me to create multiple streams of income. But again, once I tapped into thinking like a queen and having an abundance mindset, I realized that I had to rescue myself, that I had to stop waiting for someone to come and save me, that I had to create security and stability for myself. And this is when my mind was broadened and I was able to actually think about, okay, what am I passionate at? What am I good at? What do I actually know? For me to start creating multiple streams of income for myself. And I'm going to keep going and going and going, because a true queen gets in her bag and stays in her bag. The next thing that you need to do in order to have a mindset of a true queen is to let go of your old self. In order for you to become your dream self and step into a new chapter and reinvent yourself, you need to be able to disconnect and say goodbye to your old self. This is where a lot of us struggle. With every new level, there's a new level of fear and courage that you need to tap into, and you need to be courageous enough to say goodbye to the old you. And if you're anything like me, sometimes embracing change can be difficult. I like having a routine and I like having structure, so it took a lot for me to be able to accept that my old self was not serving me. My old self is not who I wanted to be. In order for me to actually be my dream self and the person that I wanted to be, I had to say goodbye to my old self, and I had to step into the unknown, and I had to tap into a new level of fear and courage. For you to be able to close that old door shut and walk into that new door, you need to believe that there's greater things to come, and they are. Because what's the worst that's going to happen when you say goodbye to your old self and you welcome and embrace the possibilities and the change that's going to come with you working on yourself to building and creating your dream self? And the worst thing that will happen is that you'll stay the same. There will be no change. So what's the harm in trying? What is the harm in closing that door and to stepping into the unknown? Because trust me, once I let go and I welcomed and embraced change, I just felt free. I wasn't held back by this idea of who I should be, what people would think about me if I was to change and become a whole different person. I became excited at the possibility of actually reaching my highest self and actually becoming the best version of myself. The next thing that you'd have to do in order to have a mindset of a true queen is to invest in yourself. I have a whole video where I break down the different things that you'd have to do in order to invest in your future and to live that dream life. I'm not just talking about investing in your exterior, your hair, your makeup, your skincare, your wardrobe, your personal style. I am talking about investing in your time. What are you spending your time doing? Are you taking time out for yourself? Are you resting? I used to think that in order for me to be successful, in order for me to be fulfilled, I have to be constantly working and I had to be constantly doing things and working hard. But there is such a thing as working smart. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm actually going to be making a video on how to work less and get more things done. So make sure that you stay tuned for that video. There's so much information out there in books, in podcasts, on YouTube that you can utilize in order to make your life easier. That's why understanding the notion of investing in yourself is so important when it comes to having the mindset of a true queen. The next thing that you need to do in order for you to have a mindset of a true queen is to reevaluate your tribe. And this is the quality of the people around you, because they are a representation of your mindset. They are a representation of how you think and how you see yourself and how you behave. And the reason why I keep repeating this over and over and over again is because even if you get your mind right, even if you create an abundance mindset, if you have people around you who don't align with who you are, they will hold you back. No matter how objective that you think that you can be, if you're surrounded by this person all the time, if you're speaking speaking to this person, you need to think about the kind of conversations that you're having. You need to think about the energy that that person is bringing to you, okay? If that person is constantly negative and pessimistic, that energy is going to rub off on you. If that person has no desire for more in their life and they're just content with staying where they are in life, that too also rub off on you, where you start holding back and delaying some of your goals, thinking that they're probably not as important. Again, focusing on the now, not looking into the future, and not being motivated by your long-term goals. So this is why you need to actually sit down and be honest with yourself about the quality of the people around you. Now, I'm not saying that you should go and completely ditch your friends, but I think it would be worthwhile to start putting yourself in situations and places where there's people with a similar mindset with you, that you're open to a new way of thinking, that you're able to look at things in a different way. Because the biggest sign of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if you're surrounded with people with a similar mindset to you, you can learn and grow from these people. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody that left you just so fired up, so motivated and so encouraged that you just wanted to go and start doing that thing that you were just talking about immediately? Those are the people that you need to have around you. The next thing that you need to do in order to have a mindset of a true queen is to heal your inner child. And that's because our insecurities are affected by our childhood, our upbringing, and even our past experiences. Healing is just not for people who are depressed, people who are going through something. You need to be able to understand yourself better, understand what has shaped your current mindset, so that you're able to leave that behind and rebirth your dream self. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure that you give me a thumbs up, as it really helps me out, because it gets shared to more people so they also can learn from the video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think it takes to have a mindset of a true queen. If you come all this way, thank you so much, but do not leave without subscribing to my channel and pressing that notification bell so you never miss out on any upcoming video. Also, make sure that you check out this video because you find it just as valuable. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.